Next Gen Tech Talks podcast, where we share insights and tips from the best in business.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Next Gen Tech Talks podcast. Today, we have a very special guest with me. He is Rory Preddy, Principal Cloud Advocate Microsoft, who oversees some of the most innovative and impactful projects in the tech industry. So much for joining us today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Rory. I've got brown hair. I'm wearing glasses. I'm wearing a green T-shirt with a green background because I want to be high energy and be excited for the sessions. I dress accordingly. I'm speaking to you from Johannesburg, South Africa, in my home office. Really excited to be here and talk on everything nerdy. So yeah, go ahead and tell me about what nerdy questions we can answer.
Way do you express the thing? It's really great, and hope you guys will enjoy this discussion with Rory. Okay, Rory, actually, we want Copilot in Dynamics, Copilot in Power Platform, Copilot in Azure. Anyways, Azure it is there very first for sure. Then Copilot in Windows, Copilot in browser. Everywhere we see Copilot. So, what is your thoughts on this first?
In the 1980s, I remember visiting my grandfather, and in my grandfather's study, there was a large desk, and there were just books on it, and there was a diary, there was a calendar, there was a general ledger, and all of these things that you had there, similar to what I've got on my desk here. Now, that changed because we have the personal computer. I've actually got 4 screens in front of me and 2 computers. And the paradigm changed, but what we didn't change is that we're still using an antiquated version, the typewriter, to put in information there. Just like my grandfather's, typewriter that he had there to type out certain things, though. So what changed is that we stopped having to use just our fingers to speak to a computer. Instead of us telling the computer what to do, we rather get help. We get a co-pilot. It's a little pilot on the ship to say, okay, Rory, now you should do this. Oh, hello, who are you? My name is co-pilot, and I want you to help you do all of these things. Now, to do that, we had to change a lot of our paradigms of thinking to say, wow, this is a product that we have, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Azure, Microsoft Windows, all of these programming languages. How do we actually take the best part of being able to speak to the AI to help, get it to help me? So a lot of the change that you're seeing there is because we went from that desk to that computer to voice, and now we're at the next evolution of computing, which is being able to talk to it and being able to let it help you. So yeah, so it's an incredible time to be in computers right now. There are a lot of co-pilots out there. I've got about, I counted the other day, I've got about 17 just on my laptop. So yeah, it's a great time and it's a great opportunity.
It's really Copilot everywhere, and people are also keen on interested to knowing what exactly the Copilot. The wave of Copilot is across ecosystem, I will say, because when I meet the customers, they always say, hey, you give me the Copilot capability. I'm saying this capability is on premise. You cannot get Copilot, and no, I want the Copilot. So, okay, in that note, something coming to my mind, because few of the customers also ask this question. So Azure OpenAI service and Copilot. So they have a very basic question. I have Azure OpenAI service. I can tap onto that. I can build. And what is the difference between these two?
So we understand customers don't want to get a huge bill from that and say, listen, I could have run this locally. Okay. So we've got the gold standard called ChatGPT, GPT 4.0, and that can recite Shakespeare. So if you go into it and say, please recite me Shakespeare, where art thou in thou career? You can get Shakespeare, but I don't need something to, if I want to send a nice, like poem to my daughter, I don't need Shakespeare. So then we thought, okay, cool. Make it down a little bit and smaller and smaller and smaller until We can make it run on a laptop. We can make it run on a mobile phone. It's not going to be as powerful being able to code as well or recite Shakespeare, but it's going to do the small little things. So we helped create, with the help of Meta, Llama. And Llama, if you go into WhatsApp, you go into the thing, that's how we helped create it, though. You can also run it locally. But the problem with running it locally is that it needs a lot of power, a lot of memory. So now we've got the Copilot Plus PCs that allow you to actually run, and the model in there is called 5.3, run it locally. It's still not going to be able to recite Shakespeare. It's still not going to be as good as the Azure OpenAI one, but now you can run it on your mobile, you can run it on your desktop, laptop, and you can run it in the cloud if you want to, depending on what your usage is.
Few of the customers, SI especially, they have their own way of building. They are saying, okay, I want to leverage on that, but still we have our own GPT models and utilize those with Azure OpenAI services. So in that note, what is your thoughts on this? Where I'm putting here three parts. Okay, one is Azure OpenAI service. I'm putting in there, you can say in a triangle. Azure OpenAI service, their own GPT models, machine learning models they built also, Copilot. How you connect these three dots?
Fascinating thing, and our competitors are also in the same light, though. So in the one light, you want, and it's called RAG, so you want retrieval augmented generation. So you want to take a PDF document and you have your generic vanilla Copilot read that document in there, and then it consumes that document and says, okay, this is what you want to do. But that costs money, because what you're doing really is you're storing the document somewhere, you're retrieving it, and then you have to retrieve it, and then people say, what else can I do? I want to train my own custom models. So we created something called Raft, and with the help of UC Berkeley. And what that does, it trains it on the fly. So never mind a custom model. With Raft, you can actually train it, and we use Llama 2. UC Berkeley partnered with us on Llama 2, and then you've got a custom model that is trained on the fly with that material, though. So, and then the third part is you go in and you run through the normal training, and then you bring out a model. Let's just say that it needed to understand you have a specific legislation or a shopping cart flow, and then you can do that. So one is use the generic model, use RAG. Two is use Raft, go in and train on the fly. And three is go in there and make sure that you can actually utilize your own model if you wanted to do that. So there's multiple mechanisms to do that. I wouldn't say that one mechanism is the best, but there are multiple ways to actually go in there and do the right way according to your usage, your customers, and your products.
Okay, I'll come to next round, Rory. There is another thought also. Now, generative AI, Copilot, people are talking about that. Now coming to the security aspect, people are having concern so that the safety, the security, and most important, the inclusiveness is taken care. What's your thoughts on this?
So these are the responsible AI principles. So we have, for example, making sure that it's fair, it's unbiased, that it's secure. And we do that by actually creating a 4-layered system there. So you've got your base model, be it Llama, and then around your base model, you've got your content filtering. So you want to make sure that you harm, violence, sexual promiscuity, all of those things, you can actually adjust it. And then around that, you've got your system message. You want to say, listen, I'm a nice bot for learning or whatever. And then around, right at the top, you want the user experience. And that's your flow, your pipeline that you want to do that. So the first two of that, the model and the content filtering, that's Microsoft's responsibility. And you're going to partner with Azure OpenAI to be able to do that, though. If you want to write it yourself with your local model, then that's on you, though. But we have a lot of nice content filtering systems. We even enable you can bulk test it. You can take your CSV file or your Excel file, and you can go in there and run it with Azure OpenAI Studio. The next level there, the system message, that's also on you. You tell it how to behave. And then the last one is the user experience. That's what programmers do, though. So there's multiple mechanisms around there to do security. At the same time, you want to lock it down with rollback access security. And we've got lots of sessions to actually showcase how you use managed identity. You want to use token-based and managed identity to say not everyone has access to this. Maybe your administrators have full access to it. Maybe your developers have less access to it, and maybe your customers have a little bit of access to there. And you role base you base that on what your usage is, though, and that's with active Microsoft Entra ID and using managed identities, either system or user identities, though, for security. And then you want to go in and log that. So one of the sessions that I love doing is showcasing how you can log those prompts. So as soon as you get a prompt that violates a security concern, you log it, you escalate it, you speak to your operational team there and say, listen, there's something going on there. Either shut down that model or go and readdress that to make sure that it isn't a security violation.
Coming day by day, and how make our ecosystem more secure, and everything is exposed to internet. So that's another part of the thing to keep in mind also. As a developer point of view, nowadays GitHub Copilot is really, people are interested on GitHub Copilot. How you envision GitHub Copilot can empower developers? We can see now it is writing code for them. It is helping them to generate some of the blocks. Also, even I heard some people are generating the documents also, technical design document. These documents it is able to generate using the Copilot.
So I sit with the team every week and we go through exactly what's coming up. And one of the things that they've told us when coming up is that, Copilot isn't only supposed to be there for you when you ask it to do something. Because, it's clever enough to actually to recommend what to do. So one of the things with GitHub Copilot is going to do, it's going to be scanning your code a lot more, obviously insecure and with privacy concerns, and then it's going to recommend to you what to do better. So let's just say you wrote a bit of code and that code is not secure, or it utilizes an algorithm, maybe a for loop instead of a while loop. It's going to go in there and say, you know what, without you even telling me what to do, I've scanned your code and I want to tell you, I just want to have a conversation with you. I want to have a conversation, and this is what you need to do there. So if you go in and download GitHub Copilot, you use the Insiders Edition, what you'll know there is, and you'll see there, is that we're helping, and with the help of the community, we're testing different scenarios that you go in there, it scans your code and it says, I want to help you a little bit more. I want to be more than a Copilot. I want to be your partner in code. I want to be, to help you be a better coder. So you can do the standard. You can go in there and say, write code for me, help me solve this problem or anything. But the new paradigm that we're looking at is that it kind of works out what you're trying to do. And then from that, it gives you recommendations without you even asking to say, you shouldn't do this. You can do it better. So that's the next step that we're working towards, though. So have a look soon, and it'll be available on GitHub Copilot coming up.
That's really great news, actually. So I will go a little bit personal. How is your day in your life?
I wake up, and the first thing I do in the morning is I switch on my phone, I switch on ChatGPT, and I say, I've got an idea. Today, I want to do a presentation, and I did this recently, on helping people find leadership and better their leadership. I want you to create a PowerPoint document for me, and I want you to go in and utilize the Microsoft leadership principles of growth mindset and model coach and care, and create a PowerPoint, because I've got a session that I'm doing in an hour time. I need the PowerPoint, I need images created, and I want you to reference and also give me the speaker notes on the PowerPoint. And it goes in there, goes, and I'm busy sipping my coffee, and 5 minutes later, I've got my presentation. I've got my code I want to show. I've got my speaker notes, and I click on the speaker notes, and I use my AI NVIDIA broadcast thing, so I can actually just read it there, and I go, start presentation. Hello, everyone, and this is Rory, and we're going to talk about the Microsoft leadership principles. And then I go to the next slide. So a lot of my life right now is automated, and I use that with AI, and it's given me the opportunity to be creative. So I use Adobe Firefly and Photoshop. I go in there and I say, I like that picture, I don't like that. And what I do with my day is really focus on the parts that I can give more than what AI can provide, which is creativity, which is going in there and analyzing what parts of the flow that I can add my own personal brand to. And the easiest way is to go in and create and images, sounds. I actually compose my own music now with the help of AI. I create my own movies and everything, and that's what I do for the rest of the day, actually. I've got my base of my PowerPoint. I've got all of the other material, and I had a nice conversation and a nice cup of coffee with my co-pilot.
Wow, that's really automated day in a life. What I will say in this way. Okay, I think that's really great, and I will go a little bit another question to deeper to understand how you manage your personal and professional life.
So one of the things I really do not have, I'm 44-year-old man, and I have a bad memory, like a bad memory. So I'm constantly on my phone, and I'm saying to Copilot, hey, remember to buy bread or cheese, or to send my wife a note or anything like that. So I've automated all of that. I go in there and I say to Copilot, okay, cool. What movies are people watching? What are the trending hashtags? I was voted number one on Analytica for 2 years running, because I go in there and I say to ChatGPT, tell me what people are listening to or what watching and what they're doing. And then I go in and on my LinkedIn profile, Twitter, and I go create social media posts there. So I kind of bridge between my social and my personal and my business using AI, and I pull in little anecdotes. I create pictures, I create music, I create images and video, and then I also manage my life also with AI though. So I don't want to say that I'm a super nerd, but I am a super nerd.
That's really interesting. And yeah, in that note, I would like to say thank you. Thank you so much for all the insights you provided, and thanks for answering the questions and thank you for accepting the request in the sitting in the different time zone. And we really thank you again.
Thank you for listening. Looking forward to see you on a new topic. Till then, bye bye.